Hello and welcome to episode 6 of the Grassroots Champions Soccer Podcast. Today we have our first guest, assistant coach of Minnesota United, Knowles, and we have a few questions for him.
In youth soccer, that age group change that we talked about is actually happening, so we're going to talk about it a little bit more this time.
In the professional game, we're going to talk about that player that you see for the very first time and whether they make it or whether you never see them again.
In extra time, we have 2 extremely awesome Minnesota United goals and a bunch of Liverpool memes. It's finally time to make fun of Liverpool. And in the scouting report, it's spring season. It's soccer season. Let's go. We're getting outside. Today,
Let's go.
On the Grassroots Champions Soccer Podcast. All right, the warm-up. Things have happened since last episode. Not 8 weeks of time in between like last time, but we have some updates. We changed the name of the podcast to the Grassroots Champions Soccer Podcast, hopefully helping us out on YouTube. And I found a picture of Pablo. You guys might remember I talked about Pablo last time. Here's a picture of him. He's the guy who played 11v11 at U9 in Chile. So,
and for me, all 3 boys had their first games of the spring season. The U15 Minneapolis United team played against Egan, and really exciting game. Traded goals. It ended up in a 2-2 draw. And then Logan and Lucas, who you might have seen, played in their first game against friendly rivals North Suburban, and also a very good game. Ended in a 1-1 draw. And then Aiden and I had the privilege of checking out another game yesterday at Allianz, and that also ended in a draw. Trading goals once again. We ended up at 2-2, and with that, we have Cameron Knowles, the assistant coach. And we're going to talk to him about some questions in our guest interview.
First guest interview. Cam, thanks for joining us. Can you tell us who you are and what you do?
Yeah, I'm Cameron Knowles, assistant coach with Minnesota United. I've been here for several years now. I started, prior to being with the first team, I was with the second team in UFC 2 as the head coach of that team. I came here in 2021, I think, and started as a video analyst with the first team. And prior to that, I spent a lot of time in Portland with the Portland Timbers. I was an assistant coach. I was a reserve team coach as well. And the bulk of my professional career was playing with the Timbers. And originally from New Zealand, but I've been in the States for more than half my life. So I kind of straddle both, American citizen. Proud Kiwi at the moment, though, as we attempt to qualify for the World Cup here in a couple days' time. So, yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
Sweet. Yeah, and how do you like in Minnesota?
Yeah, I mean, listen, the winters took some adjusting too, right? I mean, everyone, I think you count the years in winters, but no, it's great. It's fantastic. I mean, great. We'd been in Portland for 15 years. My kids were all born there. That was our life, and so traveling to a new place was always going to be daunting. You don't know what the work environment's like. You don't know what the living environment is like, and Minnesota's checked all those boxes. It's a great place to live. A great place to have a family, and Minnesota United is a great place to work and a great team, and we've enjoyed a lot of success over the last few years.
Great, glad you like it, and we like having you here too. So, Cam, you had have a daughter in our rec program at my club. One time I went to our rec fields and I heard a British accent. I'm like, that sounds familiar. I'm gonna go check this out. And you were coaching, I think they were pre-K.
Yes, yeah. The kindergarten, pre-K kids. My wife was actually the coach of the team because because of my other commitments, I don't feel like I can always, we travel and everything, I can't be there all the time. So my wife had signed up to be the coach, and then because we had 2 daughters in the rec program at the same time, and the practices and games were at the same times as well, so we'd try and switch off each week. One would coach the youngest, one would go and watch our other daughter, and then would flip the following week. So you caught me when it was my week, and it was a blast, man. It's fun coaching those kids.
Yeah, it looked like a lot of fun. I think you were playing like a freeze tag game where they hold the ball over their head if they get tagged, and they have to dribble between to save their friends. So you obviously coach 2 different sides of soccer. What are your favorite parts about professional soccer, youth soccer, and maybe some challenges of both of those?
I think fundamentally you're trying to do the same thing in terms of you're giving players solutions to problems that they can't figure out on their own, And I think with the youth kids, you see that really quick. It's simple things about, can they manipulate the ball? Can they pass? Can they run? Can they, some really simple things, especially the younger ages, but it's still fundamentally like they have a problem, they don't quite know the solution. Your job as the coach is to help them with the solution, and then you see the enjoyment and the growth with that. I think the same is true at the professional level, is you've got a group of players that now have, tremendous skill sets, tremendous tactical knowledge and all of that as well, but fundamentally your role is to try and help them solve problems that they can't necessarily do on their own, or they can't do, for the collective. And so I both have the challenges. It's funny because I walked off that training session and one of the parents said to me, she's like, "Oh, so which would you rather do?" And I was like, man, that hour felt like so challenging, just trying to get all the kids on the same page. And you walk away from both sometimes where you just feel like it hasn't gone the way you planned it. But I enjoy them both. I've always been involved in youth soccer. There was a guy in New Zealand, Billy Harris, that really got me into coaching kids from a young age when I was in high school, and I would do summer camps with him, coaching young kids, and then all the way through once I went to college, and then every year that I was playing professionally as well, and then even through coaching and then doing stuff in the community. I've just always been involved in kids, and now it's fun to be able to coach my own, so it's cool.
Yeah, that's great.
That's awesome.
And when you're coaching those players who already have great technical skills, they already understand large parts of the game. When you're training the senior team, is it mostly new information, or is it more practicing or rehearsing? Is it game specific, like we're playing this team, so we're training for that game?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of everything. You want to do what you do well and make sure you're improving upon that. I think, when we came into, if you take us, for an example, this season, we came in thinking about the season, how we want to play with two strikers, and we tried it at a point last year. We didn't really have time to work on what that looked like and out of possession. And we struggled, we struggled to get pressure to the ball in the right areas. We struggled to be as threatening with it as we thought we would be. And so fast forward to this year where we have now a full preseason to work with it. We have the players here. We have 6 weeks of preseason, the first couple games, and then you can start to see, the layering of the detail that goes into that, how we are in certain moments of the game, what that looks like in certain areas of the field. And then you add in, what does that look like when we play this team, who plays with a back four, or they play with a back five as well, or we're worried about a certain player, and you can add a little bit of nuance to it. So yeah, it's a little bit of everything, a little bit of new information, a little bit of adapting to the opponent, and a little bit of just continuing to build what are sort of your core principles.
And you mentioned your history or experience with video analysis. How much do you guys use video to teach the players or scout the other team?
Yeah, we do it a ton. I mean, we've got 2 full-time video analysts. We have all the staff as well, really into doing video. We do a lot of team stuff. We do a lot of unit and individual video as well, and that carries through our second team and into the academy. We, I would say, really heavy on the frequency of those touch points with the players, but never really long in duration, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. It might be like 2 or 3 clips. I think philosophically, the way we look at it is you don't need to show the same thing 10, 15 times over and over again. If you can make the point with 1 or 2 clips, then do it that way. But it's a really great tool for us. We film every training session. We have live video during the games. We show video at halftime. If there's a point that we're trying to make in the game, I think it really resonates when the players are able to see it right away, and they can see that moment. It's fresh in their memory. They're seeing it on the screen. And same thing from a training perspective. It's one thing to move magnets on a board and speak to them and have an idea, but when you can actually show them in a specific moment and you can talk to them about the decision making, and it becomes a two-way street as well, where you're actually learning from the players a lot, because you might go into it with an idea that they didn't see a pass, or they didn't see this moment, and in reality they did. They realized that the touch was bad. They saw the pressure coming from here. They had to make another decision. And then you start to learn a little bit more about where those players are and what they understand in the game.
Kind of their style of play, their individual style of play, right?
Yeah, 100%. And it's different for different guys. And some players have a real appetite for it. They're clamoring for video and to sit down and to go over clips and touches and decisions. And others, could take it or leave it. So you've just got to try and meet everyone where they're at with that.
And you mentioned touch points with the players. Do you guys have like a group chat? Do you guys have meetings every week? Like how often are you speaking with the players?
Yeah, I mean,
like in youth soccer, as you know, it's like an hour. I get in, I get out.
Yeah.
See you on Thursday, right?
Yeah, I mean, listen, we're lucky. We have a lot of time with the players where we have a number of meetings through the week that are again short. Some will be focused on reviewing our performance. Some will be focused on analyzing the opposition. Some will be 10 minutes sitting down with the guy just to talk about a couple of individual clips, or maybe there's some reinforcement for the back five that we need to do, the front two, whatever it might be, that adds a little quick hit in there. We have like a club-wide communication platform that we use for the players. They show up, schedules on their phones that'll tell them if they have a meeting, where they need to be, when they need to be there. But we have them in the facility for a good chunk of the day where we try to be really mindful of their time and intentional with their time. But we can use that time wisely to get them information. And then obviously when we go on the road, you might have 3 days, you might have a flight, you might sit with a guy on the plane and watch some video, and you've got a pretty captive audience when you can't move for 3 hours, So,
can't leave.
And same thing in preseason. We go away and you go on for 10 days, and you've got some long days where it's nice to just be able to sit down and take your time, with something that you might feel you need to rush through in a game week where you've got a lot of things that you want to accomplish.
I suppose every week can be a little different. What is like a typical training day for you, though?
Typical training day. And again, I mean, training days even change based on where we're at. Is it the beginning of the week where we're still recovering from the previous game? Is it, that middle of the week where we're training a little bit harder and the sessions are a little bit longer? But typically, the players are in around somewhere between 8:30 and 9 o'clock. They have breakfast provided for them at the training facility. If they need treatment, they're in earlier. We're on the field at 10:30, so that means if we have a meeting, it's probably around 9:45. We'd have 9:55, 10, 15-minute meeting. Sometimes it'll be a 5-minute meeting in the locker room with the guys. They're always in the gym before doing an activation. Then they're on the field anywhere from hour 10, hour 15. Usually relatively short, dense, high-intensity training sessions. Off the field. And then back in the gym, sometimes that's before lunch, sometimes I'll have lunch, and then gym after, and then anything else we need with whether it's an individual meeting with guys or whatnot, and most players are in there then with massage, recovery, treatment. Start to see players leaving, anywhere from sort of 1:30 to 3:30, depending on any individual needs that they have on any given day.
Yeah, nice. That kind of gives us a good picture, because I think some people might think that you're there for kind of like the youth soccer one. I'm there for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I go home, I do whatever else, and maybe a video session or something. But that's nice to know all that. It's
a full work day.
Yeah, I mean it is. And then for us as a staff, we're in before the players get in, because we've got to see who's the week's basically laid out with a framework before we get in. So we'll know what we're doing 95% for the full week. Some things will change based on availability of players. Some things might get switched around. We come in, meet as a staff, full staff, sports science, sports medicine, administration, anything that needs to be, flagged for that day, player availability. Great, we've got all the guys available. These guys are going to train with the second team. These second team players can train with the first team, whatever it might be, because we have a lot of fluidity between those two squads on any given day. So, then we go out and do all that stuff, and then same thing then at the end of the day, recap, right, who came through the session, is everyone healthy, is someone going to get a scan or a medical evaluation that might be, in question for tomorrow, what's the schedule of the second team, making sure that we're not, running into any problems there as well with player availability, that where they may be traveling, we may be at home, we may be traveling, they may have a game. So just sort of, there's a lot.
And I know when it's game day, it's exciting. The players get the haircut to make sure the hair looks nice. I'm sure they relax. They have some good meals. What is your game day like? Do you have a game day routine?
Fresh cut.
No, well, I do actually. I cut my hair. every game day. I do it myself. It's very cost efficient that way, and it's a pretty simple job. But for home games, I have a carpool. So the team administrator, who lives up here in Blaine, we drive down together, and that's usually our game day routine, is planning our stops. When are we getting the coffee? Where are we picking up lunch? What else are we picking up on the way? But I'm one that likes to get to the stadium early, so no less than like 3 hours before. 3-4 hours before kickoff. Like I just feel better once I'm at the stadium. Take my time with it. There's other guys that want to get the last minute possible. Don't like being at the stadium until it's go time. Don't want that dead time at the stadium. But I'm not really superstitious with anything. Like it was funny this past weekend because. They talk about a game day routine. At 8 o'clock, I had one of my daughters playing at the sports center, and then at 9 o'clock, my other daughter's playing, and then we're taking them to birthday parties, and so I'm doing run around all that sort of stuff before it's time to get into like locked in game mode.
Yep. Very nice. Yeah, everyone does game day a little different, right?
Oh yeah, and some guys super routine, leave at the same time, want to get in the locker room, want to get their haircut, pick out their outfit, that sort of stuff. There's a lot that goes into it, and everyone's different.
Oh yeah, speaking of outfits, because I think your social media page usually posts the guys walking up. Do you have like a game day outfit you go
Listen,
for?
That's part of the reason I get there early is so you'll never see a photo of me walking in.
It's awesome. Nate, do you have any questions for her?
Yeah, I wanted to ask what your thoughts on like style of play. Like, do you guys change formation mid-game? Is it 30 minutes in, we're going to do it this way regardless of score line? Or do things change on the fly?
Yeah. So game state changes things. You go in with a plan, and like everyone's plan for everything. Plans change, and they have to change based on the opposition because they have a plan too. But I think there's some games where we knew, and if I look at last year as an example. Change how we were going to change the game at halftime. We knew that for 45 minutes we were going to try and do it this way, and if it was working, we were going to come in, and then no matter what, we were still going to do something at halftime that we thought was going to help us even more. We try to look at it now. How's the game going? What do we need to do? Like even this last one, we're thinking about how can we make changes that keep the result, keep it at 2-1. What can we do to influence the game? And then a goal happens, and now it's 2-2, and you're thinking, okay, do we have changes then? Can we try and score the winning goal? Like what? And you're trying to run through all those different scenarios all the time. So yeah, it depends. It depends on the player availability. It depends on the opposition. It depends on the run of games that you've had as well. And we'll have a situation now where we have 5 guys coming back from international duty that have various amounts of travel and minutes in their legs that we have to be really conscious of as we go into this weekend where there may be a plan that a guy only plays a certain amount of minutes, and that we're going to either change the shape of the team at that time. We're going to change how we play within the same shape, whatever it might be, but there'll be a real detailed plan to that. And
I remember this Pep Guardiola story where he was at Bayern Munich, and the interviewer asked, "Hey, like, why did you have Jerome Boateng go play as defensive mid instead of center back?" He's like, "I didn't. He just did that himself. At halftime, I have my say. Before and after the game, I have my say. During the game, they have to play. They can't hear me with all the noise. I know Allianz Field gets pretty loud. So how much influence do you have on the players on the field, or is it mostly working with the subs? Is there like a note that you give to a player to run through those scenarios, like you said?"
Yeah, sometimes it's choosing natural stoppages in the game. Like we had a couple moments in the game last night where plays stop. Someone's getting treated for injury. There's a VAR check. You can bring someone over and you can talk to them. It's very hard to relay information, across the field. Halftime becomes really important, but I think the more important thing is the preparation during the week. And we don't want to create robots. We want to create sort of these if-then type scenarios, so the players can understand and react to certain situations, and they have decision making. They're good players, they know what they are capable of. They know what their skill set is. They know what their teammates are, and I think having that trust, belief in each other, then within a framework of how the team wants to play, I think everyone then gets a voice in what that looks like on the field.
Yeah, it makes sense. You guys use a lot of like visual cues then? Like if I see a player make this type of run, it's my turn to make this one and fill that space?
Yeah, there's good understanding with those things. There's certain things we want in certain areas of the field, where we want guys running, how we want them to move when someone gets the ball. Without going into obviously extreme detail with it, but then there's other times where you'll see the center back overlap and go on a screaming run forward like Jefferson Diaz did last night, and you're like, okay, I hope it works out, and sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, but they have to make decisions, they have to read situations, and they have to do those things. And I think if there was anything glaring, then we would look to correct, and we would say at halftime or, reviewing the game the following week, hey, listen, like, I know you made that decision, but maybe this is the better move, or, what, we didn't think of that, great decision, great solution, let's carry on,
Yeah, there's a certain point you have to just trust the players. They're there for a reason, right?
Yeah, 100%.
They're really good, like you said, so sometimes
100%.
it's like, oh, you're just going to be creative and do something awesome, then yeah, go for it.
Yeah, trust the players, so we'd been talking to them a lot about creating better chances, and upgrading your XG. And then Hassani hits an absolute screamer from outside the box, and we're all like, well, low XG chance, but, you got to take those shots, they got to go in, and so it's a little bit, understanding that there's this broad idea of what we want to do, but it's not some rigid system where we're going to say you cannot do this and you cannot do that.
Just a scale of, hey, here's maybe a poor choice, here's a better choice.
Yeah.
Can you make more of the better choices?
Yeah, exactly.
I have one fun one for you that I'm always curious about, something I kind of ask coaches, but do you prefer a 1-0 victory or like a 4-3 victory?
The defender in me wants to see a clean sheet. I think you take such great pride when you're, the back half of a team, goalkeeper, back four, back five, whatever it might be, in denying the opposition a shot on goal, and certainly a goal. Like I'm taking 1-0 all day. A lot of goals is great, but there's something about knowing you can grind out a result like that I think gives you a lot of confidence. When we win the stretch we went through the last 10, 12 games of last season, where we were able to really lock down on the defensive side and grind out results, with a 1-goal margin, that becomes huge, especially once you get into playoffs and postseason, or elimination football and like tournaments and stuff.
Yeah, I would imagine for team building too, things like that, when the players can trust each other more and know, hey, if we just get one, instead
exactly.
of, hey, we might leak a few, but
they can score 3, we're going to score 4. It's exciting on to watch and to see some of those games but
I suppose that doesn't work if you're the goalie and the center back. The forwards are all happy, they're scoring goals. They're like, that was a great game. And you're like, in fact, no, it wasn't. Nope.
No.
I've got one more also. How important is style of play in the MLS versus results and getting the wins, getting the points, getting a playoff spot? You still want to entertain the fans, right? So how important is style of play and all that? And maybe they work together sometimes.
Yeah, I think it's that. I think this is they work together fundamentally. You're judged on results. If you don't win enough games, then that's what you're going to get judged on. You have these benchmarks, whether it's playoffs, top 4, home game, making a final, whatever it might be, that everyone's judging themselves and judging each other on, quite frankly, too. And so I think you then look at, okay, what is the best way to get those results with the group of players that we have, and then then you land on a style of play, and it might be that evolves over time too. It might be, hey, listen, this is where we're at. The next transfer window, we're going to try and sign this type of player and this type of player, so we can now do this with the style of play, or we can change the system. And so I think there's that evolution with it too, because it might change in losing a player to injury, to suspension as well. So you try and have that base style that you can rely on, that is dependable, that gives you a chance in every game. You certainly want to entertain the supporters. You want to make sure there's chances and goals and something to get the crowd into it. And and then even last night we had a fantastic crowd, and just the nature of the game, they're getting into it, booing the opposition, cheering for us, and all of that sort of spiciness in the crowd makes for an electric atmosphere that gives life to the players too. So you want to be able to do things on the field that give energy to the crowd, that then give energy to the players, and have something that's predictable too for the players week in, week out, that they know they can lean on. They know, if we go in and we do these things well, this suits us, and this will give us a really good chance of getting a result.
And that feeling you get when you win, when the players do things right, it's all coming together. Let's say it's not a 4-3, let's say it's 4-0 or something. And you get to do the Wonder Wall with the team. What does that feel like?
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, it's such a cool tradition. I think that's a really, really unique thing here. Different teams have their different ways to celebrate with the supporters, and I think that's just a fantastic one. And I know the guys love it. The guys want it every week, and they want to be able to hear it. And it blasts in the locker room when we went on the road as well. So it's not something that's just reserved for the home games.
Oh yeah, actually we have the Minnesota Stars banner back here when the team used to be called the Stars. I think that's actually when it started. It was that long ago. I think like 2011, 2012 that they started playing that song after games. So it's awesome that tradition stays on and we still do it.
Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, I think that's important that you have those little look backs to the history of the club. I think that's what makes a club, is that they have these sort of elements throughout their history that build on each other.
Yeah. And, as a coach, I'm really big on standards. Like, hey, this is how we act here. These are accepted behaviors. These are encouraged. These are discouraged. What kind of standards or maybe non-negotiables do you have in pro soccer?
Yeah, I think you run a spectrum in environments where, some might be really hard and fast about a lot of rules and a lot of fines and a lot of things like that. And then you might get some others that are more self-policing, locker room takes care of itself, maybe there's a more experienced group, and I think you might land anywhere on that spectrum. For me, I think the beauty of professional sport is the game sorts a lot of stuff out. You don't do the right things as an athlete, you don't do the right things to prepare for a game as a staff. That often shows up. It might not show up in 1 week, it might not show up in 1 month, but over the broader length of time, those things show up. They show up in performance, and if you want, there's enough information now around high performance environments that the athletes and everyone around it knows what it takes, what's going to go into it, what they can do, how they can improve performance, the support we have for our players from nutrition, sports science, and whatnot. It's all there for them to where you don't feel like you really have to drive a lot of them towards it. They're really clamoring for more and more and more of it. So I think where we are right now with our team specifically is it's a really good group. And it's a good balance of experienced players that set a really good example for the younger group, and a younger group that says, man, if they're going to do all those things, and I have to do all those as well if I'm going to ever have a chance. And so I think that while it's a little bit of a non-answer about what are non-negotiables, it's more about hopefully you can get an environment and a performance environment that drives the standards, that drives those to where you don't have to sit there and say, right, you must do this, you must do that, you must do this, and I think our expectations, you build trust with the players and the players build trust with the staff when you really, the universal currency is time. And so when we're really mindful of their time and it's really rich, dense, important, intentional, then they give a lot back during that time. And we find that the players come in with a great attitude. They do a really good job on the field. They concentrate in the meetings. They do a really good job in the gym. They're taking care of those things. That's the ultimate for us.
And maybe it does take like a Roy Keane type in the locker room to police some of that, right? And you can maybe see that in some of the academy players too, right? Maybe that mindset, that mentality. What other sort of attributes are you looking for from the youth players?
I think when you look at a youth player and you look at a youth player that's trying to make it into a first team, the first thing is it's really, really hard. Most of them won't. So how do we nurture that person for the other side of it, that they don't make it? Are we helping them in school? Is their social situation good and taken care of? And how can we make sure they're still a part of their community, that they're a good social citizen, all of these things? Because the soccer is one part, but that's the dream part, and then as you're getting further up the age groups and closer to that, then it's trying to make sure that they have moments that really stretch them, that are really, really difficult, that they have moments where it's comfortable and they feel that confidence of being able to do things. And I think when you've got the 18s, the second team, the first team, you bring a player from the second team in the first team training environment, that's really hard for them the first time. Then they go back to the second team after doing that a few times and they go, whew, I feel better in this. And it's the same thing with the 18s player coming to the second team. So I think in terms of helping those players get to that standard, it's showing what it takes, but it's looking at them as a holistic approach, that person, because they're all going to be pretty good at soccer. And the thing that I say is to all our young players, you have to, whatever your elite trait is, because everyone has an elite trait. Once they get to an elite level, there's some elite trait that's got you there. Make sure it shows up. Just make sure it shows up. You come to train with the first team for one day. What's your elite trait? You're an elite technician on the ball. Let's see it. You've got elite set piece delivery. Great. Let's see it. You're an elite athlete. Great. Let's see it run. What is your elite trait? You're an organizer and a communicator. Great. Then show it. Because I think the more that you show your elite trait and the more elite traits that you have, then the more chance you have of cracking into the first team.
Yeah, I think that's great advice for anyone out there who's going through tryouts or a trial with a team, whatever it is.
High school.
Do what you're good at, right? Show us, entertain us. That's what we say at our tryouts is, hey, entertain us. And however you do that, if it's a goal-saving tackle, if it's Nate using twinkle toes, whatever it is.
Got my scissors, my step-overs.
Entertain us, show it to us, and, I think there's people like you who believe in those players and want to see them do well. So I think that's one thing that anyone out there, again, should think of is, hey, you're there for a reason. Show us that reason.
Hey, well, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks for having me. First guest.
Yeah.
Bangers only. Bangers only.
Top pins.
Nate, wow. That was spectacular. I really enjoyed listening to his insights. Cam Knowles, that was spectacular. Thank you very much.
Yeah, a lot of depth to your answers. We could have done that all night. So,
do it again sometime. Episode 7?
Yeah.
All right, on to youth soccer. Nate, what's happening in youth soccer?
So on our end, the USYS League starts. That's the regional schedule. So a lot of our games are out of state over the next 4 or 5 weeks or so. Super fun league. Really enjoy it. You see teams you don't normally see, and then you see teams you might see down the road at regionals and nationals. Anyway, Aiden will be down in... Actually, Aiden's teams are all local.
Oh, lucky.
For their league. Yeah, so we'll be hosting everybody. And then Logan and Lucas, they'll be off to Chicago this coming up weekend, and then we're in Omaha at the end of April.
Sweet. Yeah, I'll be traveling wherever it is. I think we're going to Chicago for a weekend. Like you said, play against some good teams, have some fun, play entertaining soccer like Cam said, right? Show us your elite talents. Yep. You have to.
What can you do best? Anyway, good luck to all the USYS teams and everybody else. Let's enjoy spring season.
Oh, yeah. It's here. It's here. It's a little windy, a little cold today, but it's coming. Don't worry. Also, as we said in the intro, the youth soccer age group thing is happening. USYS, US Club Soccer, and AYSO came out and together made a joint statement saying we are going to do the grade. The September, I think it's September 1st. So they're arguing, are we going to do August, September? So it's September 1st through August 31st. And that, again, calm down. It's not going to happen this fall. Your teams are safe and everything. But next fall, we're going to take youth soccer and just shake it up again like we did 7 years ago, right?
Yeah, here we go.
All right. Something interesting, though, MLS Next and ECNL have opted to stay with the birth years, I think, because they have some other things going on, especially the older they get, like U18, 19. I think it's helps them scout players for
showcases and
so I think that makes sense. But all you guys in US Club Soccer, that includes TCSL, Twin Cities Soccer Leagues, USYS, AYSO, if you're in one of those leagues, get ready. It's coming fall 2026.
Should be exciting.
We'll see. All right, pro soccer time. Nate, it hasn't been 8 weeks again. It's only been 2, but tell us some things of the week. What we got?
I had to condense a little bit. So all I've been able to use because of the international break is the second round of Champions League knockout games. But I was able to find... It was actually honestly more exciting to watch than catching highlights of League One's 14th versus 16th place teams. So, no, there wasn't one bad game to watch. Did like the 15-minute version of every game.
So, would you say the format's working? You still like it?
It's still a lot of games.
I like that Liverpool's out.
That
happened
fun.
somehow. People were like, "Oh, they're going to win 4 things in a row, the quadruple." And PSG had other plans.
Yeah, they might be the new favorites. And to think that they were in 25th, 26th with 3 games to go. So
you called it last episode, right? They're heating up, and
yeah,
they were on your radar.
It's the team nobody wants to see, but lucky for them, my player of the week will see them. Marco Asensio.
Ooh, yeah.
Formerly of PSG, scored 3 goals in the 2 legs for Aston Villa against Club Brugge.
He's on my fantasy team, so thank you, Marco.
He's doing well.
Like Cam said, you believe in a player, you want him to show his eliteness.
There it is, guys.
He's
so
doing it.
Every situation is different. Don't let one situation, affect you from being successful somewhere else. So, yeah, that's a guy that's doing it, on a game-by-game basis right now.
Keep it up. I need more fantasy points.
Our goal of the week, I don't know if you saw this, but Lamine Yamal played the most amazing assist to Rafinha. It's like Dennis Bergkamp's goal.
I'll throw it up here.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. But anyway, made it pretty easy for me. They were good goals all week long. Hassani Dotson could have snuck in.
We'll see him later in extra time.
But I had to give it to... Rafinha finished it. Great run, but the true glory goes to Lamine Yamal. Our flop of the week, I think we can all smile and enjoy this. Liverpool talking about winning 4 trophies this year, now have the opportunity of winning just 1.
They might do it, and it's a really tough one to win.
We're rooting for you, Arsenal.
But everyone else in the world, pretty happy since episode 5.
Yeah, PSG knocked them out of Europe at the exact same week that Newcastle knocked them out in the final of the Carabao Cup.
Arsenal's going to knock them out of the Premier League. That's not how it works.
Could you imagine?
Although,
there's still time.
And speaking of knocking out, did you see USL is now going pro-rel? Pro-rel is happening in America. If you guys don't know, promotion relegation means if your team does really well in the 2nd division, you might make the top team or top league. If you don't do well in the top league, you're going to drop down to the 2nd one. And this is a big sticking point in America because we like our sports a certain way. We like to do the playoffs and everything. Everyone's a winner. So MLS doesn't want to take any risks. You wouldn't as an owner, right? You want to stay in the league.
Yeah.
But it's really cool that USL is starting this because I think a lot of people have been wanting it for a very long time. The U.S. national team just lost 2 games, and people are saying this is maybe one way we can promote more American players. So just as a side note, that was great breaking news this week. Way to go, USL.
Yeah. Our team of the week, this is hard for me, but they were very, very impressive. We're going to give it to the Arsenal Gunners for their absolute destruction of PSV. And
Gunners.
Their reward, fixture against Real Madrid. So that should be fun. But in that sense, I am rooting for Arsenal. I think it'd be pretty cool to see the Giants of Europe knocked out. So
yeah, thank you.
Good luck to them.
And it's been fun seeing the hype for that game. I think it's April 8th or something. People are saying, we saw the classic of Thierry Henry in the Champions League against Real Madrid. People are saying, when Henry can run it back.
Yeah.
Put in the comments. We haven't done a comment all episode. Put in the comments. Next Henry, maybe? The kid's good.
He is really good. Boy, back in episode 2 or 3, guys, take a look. We found out about him.
Yeah, we're the only ones. But visions of Henry dribbling to the corner in the last couple minutes and swagging out at the corner when the ball gets tackled out. I could see Ethan doing it. He's got the stuff. Well, stay tuned. We're going to see. Yeah. Way to go, Arsenal. We're doing it, man. Now we just got to take down Liverpool.
Yeah.
Easier said than done.
Well, speaking on that note, the games to watch are those exact games. We're talking about Real Madrid and Arsenal, the quarterfinal. Watch all the Champions League games, but I think for me that's could be the most exciting one.
Or we could put 5 left backs on the field like we did the last round. So stay tuned. anything could happen.
Yeah. And feel free to make your predictions as well. Who are the 4 you plan on seeing in the semifinals? And I'll go really quickly through them. It's Arsenal against Real Madrid, Aston Villa, drew PSG, Barcelona gets Borussia Dortmund, who we're missing today, and Inter Milan will face Bayern Munich.
Nate, would you be so bold as to, we haven't rehearsed this, would you make predictions right now? Who you think is going through?
On the spot?
And everyone else will comment. You guys get some time. You might even watch the games and then comment. And then comment like 2 times, remember? But do you have any predictions? Or
Yeah, let's do it. Right on the spot. That Inter Bayern one, that's probably the one I'm most excited for because I think it's 50-50. Either team could win. Harry Kane is still not going to win a trophy. So let's go with Inter Milan, just on that note. He's got to win something soon, but maybe not this one.
Everything's coming up Arsenal. Let's go.
I really, really, really enjoy watching Aston Villa this year. They're doing it in just about everything, but they're still like maybe the strongest team outside of Man City left in the FA Cup. They're in the quarterfinals of Champions League. However, drawing PSG is probably their kryptonite, so I'm going to take PSG by multiple goals.
I think that makes sense.
And then on the top right, we have Barcelona and Borussia Dortmund. That's pretty easy for me. My heart doesn't even say Borussia Dortmund, honestly. My head says Barcelona, and it's going to be like 5-1.
I could see that, yeah. Well,
I'm hoping.
Not Starboy, Saka Starboy, but Yamal.
He's
going to show up again. The whole team's really fun to watch.
They're pretty awesome. We actually already played them. We went toe-to-toe with them. It was 3-2 at the Signal Iduna Park. The fact that we get 2 games, who knows? Anything can happen, but they're going to be tough. Our worst players, probably the guy who's going to be defending Yamal, so.
Who's that?
I don't even know his name. Svensson. He just signed in January. He's pretty much already been relegated back to the bench because he hasn't been very good, so.
You're going to get smoked, man. You're going to get smoked.
Yeah, we'll see. Chance to make his mark.
And the big one.
Yes, finally
I'm not going to be upset if you don't say who I think you're going to say.
We have Arsenal and, what's their name again? Real Madrid. I actually think it's going to be really close. I think Arsenal...
here it comes.
Arsenal sets up nicely on the counterattack. Real Madrid loves to have the ball at their feet. And so when you have guys like Vinny and Rodrigo running at you, and you maybe sit a little deeper and you have a chance to hit them on some counters, who knows? Anything can happen. I know Real Madrid are still missing guys at the back. I'm going to say it's going to go 4-4, and we'll go to PKs. And I'm not one to predict PKs. I never have. Anything can happen in those. So we'll just leave it at that. Enjoy the PKs.
That would be great for a neutral.
A lot of fun.
Any neutral fan that's watching, my heart's not ready for it, but yeah, I'm still gonna watch. You should too.
All right, enjoy everybody. So our next segment, I thought this would be a little fun. You know when you've watched a game and there's a 16-year-old, 18-year-old, Ethan Wenry, whoever it might be, but anyway, that player you've seen, and with their first touch, they're going to be a star. They have it.
It's a spark, and you're like, whoa, he's got something.
The kid's a bit special.
And you always get it right?
I've got it right more often than I've got it wrong. My very first one I got right, and to this day, he's probably still my favorite player of all time. But no, I'd say it's like 60-40. You see a guy, you think you know, and then circumstance happens. But anyway, I'm going to come at you guys with the 3 that I was most right about, or at least probably the 3 that got the furthest in their careers. And then 3 that I really liked that we never heard from again.
Sounds good. Lay it on us. Who you got?
All right, so I'll go from 3 to 1. The third one was a Ghanaian midfielder, Sam in France. He played for Lyon. And I was really hoping Manchester United would sign him. Roy Keane at the time was just on his way out. And Chelsea beat us to the punch. And that's Michael Essien.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, and he took... Chelsea was a top 4 team before he got there, and when Essien and Lampard and all those guys were in the midfield, I think Chelsea won 3-4 titles.
Remember Aaron Robin was there too?
Yeah.
It's crazy when he had hair too.
See if you guys can see it.
When I first saw him play, I didn't like him. I still don't like the dives and all that. and how he does one move really, really well. Every time. Yeah, I thought he was like 30 because he was slightly balding. And then someone's like, no, he's 24. I'm like, what? All right. Yeah, that's a good choice. Michael Essien, for sure, top player.
Yeah, great player. Ran the midfield for years. My second one, this is when I was an exchange student in Germany. And Bayer Leverkusen, who just missed winning a title that year. Bayern beat him on the last day. And then also signed this player from Bayer Leverkusen. But at the time, he was probably the most exciting under-21 player in Germany, and that's Michael Ballack.
Ooh, that's a name I haven't heard since 2010.
Yeah, probably. And he another midfielder that controlled the center. Did it for Germany, did it for Chelsea, with Essien and Lampard.
Yeah, that team was stacked. What?
Yeah, all these guys came together, and Jose Mourinho couldn't win a Champions League with them. Crazy.
The special one. All right, well, is your third one also a center midfielder?
No, not this time. This is my one claim to fame. This is my guy. I got to see his very first goal at the tender age of 16 years old. Scored against Arsenal. A dipping shot over Sol Campbell.
Who is it?
And that's Wayne Rooney.
Oh, yeah.
Of Everton, yes. Fantastic goal. If you guys have never seen it before, it's still I put it in my top 5.
I like how you said Wayne Rooney of Everton.
It wasn't the Man United Wayne Rooney. No, well, he was great too. Probably even better. But for me, it was, love at first sight. His first game with Manchester United was a hat trick. But no, I knew straight away kid was going to be special. And I'm just glad that Alex Ferguson did as well.
Yeah, that was 3 good choices. Now, those are ones you got right. Who'd you look at and you're like, there's the spark. He's got the elite talent. And then something happened or they didn't have it. Or sometimes our perspective is just wrong. So,
let's move on to extra time. That never happened to me. No, I'm just kidding. All right, here we go, guys. My first one, I thought this was the next Patrick Vieira. Arsenal had scooped him up at a young age. You guys might not know this one. Alexander Song.
Yeah.
He 60-yard runs and 40-yard through balls, and you're thinking, whew, this kid's going to be a bit special. And then I think Barcelona snapped him up, and he was gone.
I think there's so much talent on Barcelona that adding Alex Song to it, I don't think he was ever going to be first team player ahead of Iniesta, Xavi, Busquets. But yeah, I loved him at Arsenal, and then he did that crazy thing. I might put the video up here. You guys know the thing I'm talking about? Was it on Mandzukic in the World Cup? Elbow down the back, red card. Just way off the ball. What are you thinking? I think that was the start of the downfall.
Probably. That's not tiki-taka.
That guy's not at my club, is he? He is. Oh, yeah. I've been watching him for years. Yeah.
My second one, you guys might know that. And there's still a chance. He's still, I think, 23, 24 years old. But the American Gio Reyna. I thought he was coming through Dortmund, knowing who his father was. I thought this kid was going to be Dortmund, Manchester City, captain of the U.S. national team.
Still could.
He still has time, but the trajectory's it's a little different than what we first imagined.
Clock's ticking, and your dad is texting the head coach. That maybe contributes.
A lot going on behind the scenes there, I think.
I like him a lot. I'm actually surprised he's on there, but it makes total sense given what we've seen the last couple of years. But yeah, I hope he makes it though.
Yeah. For me, Landon Donovan, still probably the greatest American of all time. I thought that'd be done by now, and the fact that it's not. But we'll see. And finally, this is for all you Man United fans out there. Charlie knows who I'm talking about, too. This one's super fun. First time he came on, he scored this beautiful extra time goal against Aston Villa to win Manchester United the game.
Was that the one we showed in episode 4?
Yeah, if you guys have watched every episode, you've already seen the goal. It takes a touch inside and then just falling away, top bins, far post. That's Federico Makeda, who, after those he had another goal in his second game, too, for Man United against Sunderland. And then you thought he'd get close to the first team, and he was pretty much gone. And now he's playing in the Greek league somewhere.
Glad he's still playing. But yeah, he was like the hope for Italy and maybe Manchester United. You guys always sign people though, but especially strikers. But If you can get this
Usually
guy,
academy kids don't come through like that. Ruud van Nistelrooy, Robin van Persie, they're always signed. But we thought maybe this would be the guy that, came through the academy system. And
franchise player. But it was maybe just that spark.
yeah.
That Villa goal and a couple others.
Two and
you're
done.
like, oh, there's something here. And we were just looking through a magnifying glass for a little bit, I think.
So do you have one on either side of that spectrum that you wanted to talk about?
Well, one player I saw that I liked right away, Ronaldinho. Still my favorite of all time. A bunch of pro players say that they watched him growing up and that's why they play that way. And I just like seeing the joy he plays with, and he was playing different than everyone. And really entertaining soccer. It was awesome. So I was like, oh, whoever this guy is, I don't like his hairstyle that much. Now I do. But I was like, oh, this guy looks a little goofy. He's playing a little goofy, but he's different. It's fun to watch. That's my new favorite player. And then, look, he's a legend.
Yeah, electric. A lot of 4-3 games I bet he was in.
Yeah. Let's see, a player that I saw and I was like, this player's going to be good, but then didn't work. Hurts me to say, but Jack Wilshere.
Oh.
Because I remember, I think we played Bradford or Bradley in the FA Cup in 2013, somewhere around there. And he was the only player on our team who was still dribbling with the ball. He's telling his teammates, let's go, let's go. There was that Barcelona game when he was 18, I think, and he was playing against Busquets, Xavi, Iniesta, Messi, all those guys. And I think he got both Iniesta and Xavi's shirt that game. Player of the match in the Champions League, quarterfinal, I think it was. At that moment, I was like, yes, finally everyone sees what I'm seeing. What an amazing game. He's just going to keep going up. And then injuries happened, right?
So many injuries.
But we got him as a coach in the Arsenal Academy now.
Nice.
Yeah. I remember, I think it was Wenger said someday he will be a coach. Now he's coaching. Hey, I'm doing the same. Let's go. You stop playing after a certain time, dedicate yourself to coaching instead.
That's great.
Very, very unfortunate that he didn't make it all the way, but I think he's not done yet. I think he's going to be quite a coach. Manager, sorry.
Yeah.
It's time for extra time. You know that sound. Nate, I've got one for you. We're starting with a banger. Bangers only. Manchester United is getting a new stadium. They released this image right here. It's gonna, how much does it cost?
$2 billion with a B.
Big bills.
A few bucks.
Here's the image that Manchester United put out. This is not like a fan making fun of them. This is what they plan on the stadium looking like. And Nate, this clearly has been the butt of some jokes because of... Well, I have some names here that I found from the internet that you could call the new stadium. And Nate, could you just... You're the fan here. Could you give us a 1 to 10 score of how much you like the name?
Okay.
So just very subjective for you. Do you like the name a lot? 10. Is it, it's an okay name, 5, 6? Please don't call it that. That's a 1.
All right.
Okay, so the first one, I think it's going to fit 100,000 seats too.
It's a big boy.
Yeah, it's the same size as Wembley, so probably not just Manchester United stuff going on there. Big tournaments.
International games, yeah.
For sure. All right. You ready? The
Let's
first
go.
one, New Trafford.
All right. We'll give that a 6.
Okay, well,
I like Trafford in the name.
I have a surprise for you at the end. Next one, New Old Trafford.
No, yeah, can't do that. That's a 2.5.
They might get worse from here on. Because it has the 3 spires, people are calling it Old Trident.
A little bit of comedy in that. Please don't call our new stadium that name. I'll give that a 5.
All right.
5 for humor.
I actually like this one a little bit. It's a little kind of hokey, but Devil's Den.
Ooh.
Doesn't scream like stadium.
No.
It's
Sounds
got-
intimate.
Yeah, it's got that personality. And yeah, if you can be intimate with the fans in a 100,000 seater.
Yeah. The Den.
Yeah.
All right, we'll give that a 9. That's clever. I like it.
All right. They get worse. Big Jim's Flying Circus.
Oh, no.
Big
Well, that's
Jim-
what it looks like.
Jim Ratcliffe. So.
Oh well. Yeah. We'll give that a 6.
Okay.
There's a little truth in that one.
Circus of Dreams. Ooh. It's like Field of Dreams, but it's a circus because it looks like a clown tent.
8 for honesty. Well, it's
gotta be pragmatic. Theater of Nightmares.
For who, us or them?
You know the answer.
If it's Manchester United we're talking about, that's a 10. If it's the opponents, it's 5.
I love the last two here. Next one, though, Hell's Gate. Going very literal with the Red Devils thing,
Right.
but
Another 7. I like the play on words there.
I don't think the
Our
public.
mascot.
I don't think public and families might like that. All right, last two. I saved the best two, in my opinion,
here
for
we go.
last, and they're definitely not the best two. Anthony Arena.
I have someone in this household who will say that's a 10. Personally, I'm going to give that. I'll give that a 2.5 for creativity.
Oh, so you're saying there's a chance?
It's
Not a
It's
zero.
not the
or
worst
one.
one on there.
This one might be Harry Maguire Stadium.
Oh no! Get it out! Get it out! Him too.
All right, so
Ship them both. No, I love you, Harry. You've had a great season, but that
What-
name gets a 1.
what was your highest one? Was it Devil's Den with a 9?
I think so.
Is there any 10s?
Yeah, I did give a 10, didn't I? To the
New Trafford, Old Trident.
No.
Oh, it must have been Big Jim's Flying Circus.
no, absolutely.
Well,
We'll go with the Den.
I do have some news for you. In between me writing these down and us filming this, a document got leaked that said it will be called New Trafford Stadium.
No way.
Yeah. I think he gave that a 6. So, there we go. All right. Well,
All right.
hey, you get a new stadium. The name doesn't matter that much, right?
No.
I mean, Old Trafford's name mattered. People look up to that stadium and
theater of
everything.
dreams.
Yeah. What? New stadium. You got to mix things up, right?
Put some trophies in it, we'll be fine.
There it is.
There it is. New Trafford.
I went through like this
Oh,
one
there
says
he is.
Michael. Circus of Dreams. Yeah. Some of them weren't the best or the funniest, but some of
A
those
few clever
people,
ones in there.
some of those people were cooking. All right, Nate. 10 really good names. You
5.
can only, yeah. Then you can only pick one. So I hope to go with Harry Maguire Stadium. Just personally,
Oof.
that's my favorite. But hey, time for the rest of Extra Time. And we have a Liverpool section. We've got Minnesota United crazy goals, 2 in 2 weeks, goal of the week maybe, and some funny videos. Here's the first one. My mother scored a free kick before Mbappe.
Hey, Mom.
Yeah. That's
That's
not
well
bad.
done.
Look at the celly. The husband's going crazy. Storming the pitch. I
Why wouldn't you?
This
Yeah,
is fun. This is clearly not professional soccer. Have some fun. That's good fun. All right, next one. Oh, disallowed goal. But check this out. Kirkez, right?
Yeah.
That's how you say his
Milos
name?
Kirkez, yeah. It's my guy.
Running down basically the entire pitch. Doesn't even take the rest of the space. Whips in. Just a beauty.
It's clean.
Very, very upset that this got turned over.
Is that wing back to wing back?
Oh, yeah. Sweet goal. Let's take a look
Those
at this
are fun.
replay. Yeah, he's taking the space. Youth players, look, he has his head up the whole time. We don't dribble with our head down. Look at the
Oh,
whippage.
look at that hit.
Get in there. And in there, I mean the gap right between the defenders and the goalie.
Everything worked in this sequence.
And the beautiful Premier League ball just makes every little bit better.
Oh, yeah.
Woo! All right, sweet one. Another one. This just happened this week in the Queens League. I think it's indoor soccer. Check this out. Flicks over the defender. Flicks her again.
Oh, that's nice.
Full volley.
Act like you've been there. Look at that.
And ice cold Sally. Her teammates literally can't believe it. Look at this. Over. Oh, she's going to
She got to do it again. That's nice.
Well in. All right. So, over the past weekend, I think, Liverpool and Chelsea had a charity match where they invited some of their past players to come in. Yeah, they do these charity matches that are just for fun. Raise some money for a good cause. You get to see your famous guys again, like Zola for
Yeah.
Chelsea.
Oh, yeah.
And I have a meme here from the Chelsea account. They posted Zola and the full-time score, and Georgia's comment here says, Chelsea's long-term contracts are becoming a joke. When did he stop playing for Chelsea?
Ooh, it was around the time I was in Germany, so 20, 25 years ago, probably.
Yeah, he's still out there. These crazy contracts. What does the market come to? All right, I have another one here.
Oh, no.
Chelsea posts Makelele and Gallus at training, and this guy, I don't know his name, Elsdog, said when we said sign older and more experienced players, this is not what we meant. We don't like. Why Gallus literally has a gray beard there.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's fun to see those guys play again, though. It was a good time. Have you ever played Score Hero? It's the mobile game where you like draw where the line should go. So you could like draw a pass and it does it. Sometimes, very often, the game glitches out. But
No. I can only imagine what we're about to see here.
this is what Darwin Nunez sees, and he's not even looking at the goal. That's not even an option. It's just in that little arc like this. That's the only place you can kick it. And I'm gonna have to say it rings true. That's part of the Liverpool section. That was a little warm up. I love Ronaldo, but how do you reason with someone like this? He's gonna shoot that, right?
Oh, yeah.
There's no way Ronaldo is not shooting that. It's just crazy looking. Hey, in order to do great things, you have to try great things.
It's true.
Write that
Nobody
down.
knows that more than Ronaldo.
Yeah, for sure. He just crossed. He got 929 career goals. I'm running out of fingers. I can't even count that high. Okay, here's the Liverpool section. It's a little one. Goals at Anfield in 2025. Peter Crouch, who played in that charity game,
Hey, he scored both of them.
2 goals. Also, guys who have been playing the entire season at Anfield, Luis Diaz, Jota, and Nunez tied with Peter Crouch, who's 44 years old, with 2 goals total. Now, it's not each. It's not per player. 2 total at Anfield.
That's tough.
That is tough, but hey, the hate watch has been working.
Yeah.
We told you last week or 2 weeks ago we were hate watching Liverpool. That's why we took off actually the 8 weeks before that.
Yes.
That's not the real reason, but yeah, I think it's been working. It's been successful.
Yeah, lots to talk about.
I think someone must have done like voodoo or something.
It wasn't me, guys, I promise.
Here is Peter Crouch scoring a goal from the charity match and then doing a very iconic celebration.
Oh, tell me he brings out the robot. That's a nice header.
Nice header, but then do you know what he's going to do?
It's got to be the robot, right?
Yeah. He does like a smooth robot too. Let's see if he still does it smooth. Yeah.
That's solid.
Well then, Crouch,
He's fun.
you love to see it. Look at that header too. Also in this game, he tried like a sidewinder, like kind of a bike but more sideways, and we're just running it back. It's so much fun to watch these guys, and Peter Crouch hasn't changed a bit, has he?
2009 Premier League.
Oh, this is a wicked shot against your guys.
Ooh, yeah, I did see that one. Clean.
Look at that. I remember Essien scored a goal like this against Arsenal from 35 out. I'll put that one up here too. But yeah, just lovely technique. So, okay. All right, I have to censor this, but make it happen, Villa. And this is Emi Martinez, friend of the podcast, and he has the chance to do one of the funniest things ever. You know, there's this outrage about his actions and celebrating being the best goalkeeper in the entire World Cup. I think you get to celebrate a little bit. He has a little of artistic flair when he celebrates.
Yes, he sure does.
And as Josh says here, everyone in France would lose their mind if this happens, seeing this happen.
We're rooting for you, Villa.
I saw another meme. It said like something like when a whole nation hates you because you're so goated. And it's just him. Well, I'll put it up. Just him celebrating PK stops and the World Cup final save, and then being himself. Keep being you, Emmy. Come back to Arsenal someday. Oh, this is recess or something. But look at this skill. This is the downside of playing pickup with garbage cans.
Ran into the post.
Yeah.
And emptied it.
And look at his friend. Oh. And there's a soccer goal back there. You see that soccer goal in the back? Watch the start of the clip here. It's right there.
There it is.
There is a soccer
Ooh.
goal, and they're refusing to play with it. So, hey, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. If you throw a football into a group of very drunk men, beautiful things might happen. I'm going to change this. Beautiful things will definitely happen.
And they are.
And actually, the second time I watched this, it went so much longer than I thought it was going to. Dangerous tackle. Dangerous tackle. Little flick up, a moment of soccer. Guy gets pushed over. Half the guys are on the ground the whole time. Dangerous tackle.
More beer. Oh.
Someone just boots it away. Hey, that could be you and your mates. Oh, yeah, we show lots of great attacking soccer.
Oh.
From out of the frame when the shot is made.
Fantastic defending there.
And I was thinking this was going to be a sweet goal, but absolutely denied. Shut the door. Love to see it. Oh, Nate, do you know what Kasi Flava is?
I'm not familiar.
So it is very popular in Africa, and it's like soccer. It is soccer. They still play. They still keep scoring everything, but it's all about the expression that you do with the ball. And I found this video that sums it up pretty well. Okay, if it's not exactly Kasi Flava, don't get mad at me. Some of these are just really cool skills and flicks, but a lot of it is. So check this out. I don't know how long it is there. And these are pretty quick cut. I'm not gonna say each one, but like that's Kasi Flava. You're putting your knee on the ball. You're showing something to the crowd. Wow. And these guys are really good too.
Oh, that's great.
Like these guys, I don't think could like play professional soccer. So get that out of your mind. But they are very talented.
They're good at what they're doing.
Wow. When I say that, when I say talented, he's twerking, but it's not what I meant. Yeah, Kasi Flava. Like
That's
heading the ball
amazing.
backwards between your legs. I could watch this all day. Like a David Blaine. Here's that one again.
Yeah, that might have been my favorite.
Oh man,
I have no idea how he did that.
Kasi Flava. Yeah, there's a good example. If you want some more, look it up. These are Nate.
Hey,
This is the Premier League posted this. The top assists of the season so far. I'm gonna show them and let them play. Can you pick out your favorite one? Maybe what your assist of the season is so far.
Yeah.
So first off, we have Jadon Sancho starting off with a dummy. Very cool.
I do love a great pass. Oh, that's clever.
Very nice. Very tidy. All right, next one. Savinho. Maybe one of those guys that we see who has a spark.
Yeah.
He could make it, yeah. And sets up Holland, of course.
At least he recognizes where the goal came from.
Let's see, Salah, we know him.
Yeah.
This
It's going to be
is...
special. Oh, those are the ones that I really enjoy.
Let's watch that one again. That's quite some vision there. And look at the little gap. There's like no space
And
to
the
play
runner
this
wasn't
ball.
there until he was.
Very nice, very nice. A contender. They're all contenders. Oh, yeah.
I got to pick my,
Okay, the Premier League has some good taste. All right, TAA.
Oof.
Another nicely whipped ball. Are you remembering your favorite? You have it picked out?
So far, yeah.
Van der Ven. This is looking like the Kirkes one. But he's going inside.
Oof.
He's going all the way.
Oh, does all the work?
That's one. That's like the Lamal one, right? Where it's like, yeah, that was my goal. Pretty much. That was mine.
Right.
Sorry, that was against Man United.
No, I remember that one.
João Pedro, just a slick pass.
You can put the right weight on it too. Those are the truly special ones.
Ooh, and I like that angle because you can see he's looking this
Yeah.
way, plays it that way. Let's see it one more time. So from that one, the TV lens, you can't see it as well, but check out the reverse angle.
Broke 2 lines.
Opens up the hip to play that. Very cool. You have some tough choices here. Oh, Bruno.
I remember that one too.
Wait, Holland
Yeah, it
scored?
was like one of 2 goals this year, I think.
It's a nice flick. There's all the memes of. I'll put one up here. It's a bunch of trash bags in a big pile, and then there's a golden trash bag, and it says that's Bruno, and this is Manchester United. So
I've also seen the Lamborghini in the, lower class housing.
Oh yeah, does it feel that way?
At times, yeah. I mean, he's really. The boys and I had talked about this a couple weeks ago, or actually down in Mexico. We had said, could any of the current Manchester United players make the team that I grew up watching? And I only thought about one, and it's Bruno Fernandes. And
maybe we'll do that segment next time.
Be a fun one.
And you guys might comment.
Yeah, you guys comment on the teams you want us to talk about.
Yeah, we're not going to do every team, okay? But yeah, you said a player that's currently playing
player.
That could make
Kind of the iconic team of, era of that team, per se. So like Bruno Fernandes on the early 2000s Manchester United alongside David Beckham, Paul Scholes, that kind of thing.
Odegaard and the Invincibles? Could you imagine?
Oof, I could. He's about the only guy I'd pick ahead of Bruno.
We'll talk about it. You guys can comment about it too. Nice assist by Bruno, though. Oh, this is when
I like James Garner too.
This is when Beto just went off.
Yeah.
Again,
here's another guy who's really close to becoming a significant player in the Premier League. He's close. He's inconsistent, but he's close.
Reminds me of like Nicolas Anelka.
Yes.
He's got a similar, I don't know, something. It's just a visual thing. It's the eye test. He looks like Anelka. That's an Anelka finish.
Yep. Could have taken one more touch. Didn't need to.
Max Kilman, who's had a great season. Right?
Yeah, Wolves. What were you thinking? Although I guess he's only one place ahead of Wolves in the standings, so. Oh, that's both of those.
All right, so he wins it, goes past two.
And is that Jared Bowen streaking down the right side? It certainly is.
Yeah, nice advantage by the referee. Shows play on.
Oof.
He wouldn't have the goal if we didn't have a referee.
Now.
Making a good choice. Right there, there's the advantage. Lovely refereeing, lovely assist. Good finish, too. Jacob Murphy, who's also having quite a season. Is that a back heel?
Yes, it was.
It was right at the beginning of the clip. Let's see.
Between three defenders?
Ooh.
Four. Two were marking Murphy, two were marking Isak. That's well done.
You have a tough choice here. Another back heel cross.
That's nice. This is tricky.
Yeah, I put you on the spot
I'm
again.
hoping there's no more.
Let's see. So we had that one. We had this back heel from Murphy. We had Kilman. We had the James Gardner. I don't think that one's making it.
Oh,
Bruno.
Garner's was nice, but
João Pedro with the disguise pass.
Jeez.
Van der Ven, who ran the entire field. Kirkes, who ran the entire field and then whipped the ball in. Trent with just a whip. That does not equate to the Kirkes one, so I'm taking that one out.
Salah's, yep.
With the
It's in here first.
thread in the needle. Savinho, and then Jadon Sancho, too.
All right, so let's see. I think that's going to get in my top three.
And as he does this is a good look for you guys into how we do podcasts. It's like one take every time, and we just make stuff up on the spot a lot.
Yeah, it's my first time seeing these guys, so
yeah.
I'm seeing them with you.
And yeah, as he's doing this, you can put yours in the comments if you figured it out yet. You have 10 pretty good contenders, 4 or 5 extremely good ones.
I hate taking Bruno's out and Kirkes out to even get to the top three. My top 5 is Kirkes, Bruno, Sancho, Mo Salah, and João Pedro's. And my top 3 are João Pedro's, Jadon Sancho's, and Mo Salah's. Oh,
Good stuff, guys. And
that's great.
we might even see better ones before the season's done. We'll keep you updated on the next episode. All right.
I've got it to... Oh, boy. We'll come back to it. We'll finish, and then I'll have my answer.
All right.
Tough.
Let's see. Oh, we're in the Minnesota United section here to end it. This first one, what is this guy's name? I think it's, Griffin Guile. Gil Guile. I think he's a U16 player in the Minnesota United Academy. Goal of the week in MLS Next. Look at this. Moving the ball around as we do. Ball comes in, and the last thing you'd expect. It's like in like skateboarding when they do switch, like you're Your feet are the other way, so you're kind of riding left-footed, kind of. That's what this reminds me of. That bike probably... I don't know how you think of this. Griffin, how did you think of this?
Griffin, put that in the comments if you're watching this.
Griffin, comment right now. If we ever make merch, we'll give you a T-shirt.
Yeah.
How about that? I'm just giving away these fake T-shirts. They're not fake.
They're not.
They're just not real yet.
Yet.
All right, so that was great. Griffin, keep it up. Maybe you'll be talking with Cam Knowles someday. We'll hook it up.
Pretty awesome.
And this is one we've talked about. Asani Dotson. Bangers only, right? Full volley,
Beautiful.
too. I've seen people do this. Kind of.
When the ball hits the ground.
Yeah, he let it bounce once. He says, nah. Bangers only.
Yeah.
It would be less of a banger if I wait for it to bounce. So here it is again.
We actually, while we were on vacation down in Mexico, we're watching ESPN Deportes Sports Center, and that was in their top 10. So
Yeah, let's go.
that's pretty cool. Well done, Dotson.
And that's during all the basketball, the hockey that they usually give priority to in the ESPN top 10.
Liga MX gets a lot of love down there.
Yeah, so it's nice to see one of our guys there. Actually, well, two of our guys. Minnesota United's killing it.
Nicely done, boys.
Big fans over here. All right, that was extra time. Hope you found something that you enjoyed. We got the stadium names, we got the assists, we got the Liverpool section, the charity match.
All right, guys, this is hard. I think just for everything within the play, I'm going to give it to Jadon Sancho, though.
Yeah.
The dummy, fantastic. Took the guy out of the play, lets the guy back into the play, and then squares him up and then beats him again, and then with just a delicate touch for the finish, or to set up the guy for the finish. And I'm sure, he went straight to the,
Oh, yeah. I'm starting to see like youth players do it. I'm starting to see people from not even soccer, other sports doing the Cole Palmer. So
Palmer's the new Ronaldinho. He's winning fans every day.
Ronaldinho. I mean, he's good. What was Ronaldinho's specialty? Kind of this thing.
Yeah. It was always a party.
Dancing. He would dance.
Yeah, the samba goals.
Very nice.
Yeah. But my favorite thing in this sequence is just the weight he puts on the ball. Just enough to beat three, but not let the other. Mark Gui, I think, was trying to get close but couldn't because the ball was there.
It's a tricky ball. You're threading the needle again, right?
Yeah.
Great. Well, that was tough, Nate. I can't believe you found one, but well done. All right. We had enough fun. We'll have some more fun next episode, too. Now it's time for the scouting report. Nate, what's on your scouting report? What's coming up that we can look forward to?
So for us is... What is ours? Sorry, guys.
So Nate and I are always keeping our ears and eyes out for good things to tell you about, things to look forward to, give you some hope, make you appreciate soccer. Nate, what do you got for us today?
So, guys, well, these last 10 days, there hasn't been any club soccer. Why, you ask? It's been international soccer, a lot of qualifiers. North America is doing some cute little semifinal Nations Cup event. Cute little. And I say that because the Americans lost both games. It would have been a lot more. I would have been a lot more excited about it had we won.
That's fair.
But the thing I'm looking forward to most is the lack of these. We are one international break closer to World Cup 2026. Let's go.
Right here at home, baby. We're doing it.
It's going to be a fun one.
Have you heard anything about the lottery yet?
2025, so we're in the right year now. We're getting closer, guys. I still haven't gotten any emails other than stay tuned, be patient. And so I just sit and wait. I'm hoping it had said about 12 months from the first round of games, so I'm guessing sometime in May or June.
It's going to be gone in Norway.
I think so.
We already know.
Manifest destiny.
Is it now just where, or did you pick the location when you did?
We have 3 options now, and so we're either we're staying in New Jersey, which allows us the options of going to New York, Baltimore, and Philadelphia. And so we'll catch, ideally, the best option of those 3. But
FIFA, help this man out. You guys know what to do. We want France, Germany. We want Spain, England in New Jersey.
Give us something good.
Bring Spain and England. Make them play against each other in New Jersey when Nate's watching. That's what we want, FIFA.
Please, FIFA.
We'll shout you out on the podcast if you do that. So, we'll give you a free t-shirt when we make one.
How about you, Charlie? What are you looking forward to?
I alluded to mine already. The weather's getting warmer. It is not Minnesota winter, although there's always fake spring. Everyone who lives in the state knows this, that it gets warmer. People put away their jackets, put away their shovel. And guess what happens? It gets really cold again. But just like we're closer to the World Cup, we're closer to summer soccer, outdoor soccer. I don't have to be trapped in a dome all the time.
No more, yeah. No more sharing, 1/8 spaces with the rest of the soccer club.
Feel the wind going through your hair.
Yeah.
You know, things like that. Get some vitamin D. Go outside in the sun, have some fun. So yeah, we're this close now. This close to... I mean, it's soccer season all year, basically, right?
Yeah.
Every sport's all year now, but...
Spring's the most exciting. Spring's fun.
Big soccer.
The weather's great. Soccer's great.
We get to
You've
be
been
outside.
with your team.
You're
Yes.
supposed to play outside.
You know how Coach wants you to play now.
Yeah, there we go. So, hey, that's something that we're looking forward to. That's something I think everyone can look forward to is nicer weather and more soccer, more of the thing that we love. Right? So, hey, look forward to that. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Grassroots Champions Soccer Podcast. We added soccer, remember. Tell your friends about it, comment a bunch, and then put the real comments.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. I forgot to tell people to like and subscribe. That's why you guys haven't been liking and subscribing?
Yeah. You just watch and then you go away.
See, every time that I see like a YouTuber and they're like, hey, like and
On
subscribe.
the buttons.
Remember to do that. Repost this video. I never do it, and I blocked that part out, so I didn't think that we had to say that. But yeah, like, subscribe.
Share.
If you want to see us get guests like Cam Knowles, if you want
Pretty
more
exciting,
of that,
right? Yeah.
if you want more of that, comment. That's how we get this video out there. Share it with your friends, and who knows who our next guest will be. Stay tuned. You got to stay tuned, and you guys can help us by sharing this podcast. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Episode 7.
7.